Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley.
Grace Curley, host of The Grace Curley Show.
Grace Curley.
Nobody comes trick-or-treating at my house, though. I'm on such like a busy traffic road. Nobody comes by, so I end up eating all the candy. I don't know about the rest of you, but I will be eating a lot of chocolate today if the kids don't come by, which I don't expect. We've got a great guest here, another great guest. She's an attorney. She's running for district attorney right now in Norfolk County against Michael Morrissey. And I call her the front runner because she's the one who she won our recent poll on Twitter. I said, there's 4 candidates, potential candidates for district attorney in Norfolk County. Michael Morrissey, the sitting DA, was on the list. 2 other male announced candidates were on the list. And this guest was on the list. Her name is Junah Perkins, and she won that poll. She's also, I see, actively campaigning. She goes to more town committee hearings and little, what do we call those? She's looking at me.
House parties?
House parties, yes. Exactly. Thank you so much.
Town meetings, elections.
You're there, and you're door knocking. You're also getting quite a few donations. And I think the big thing is I'm seeing elected leaders host some of these parties and show up at some of them, like Susan Harrington,
yes,
and Tricia, both Canton Select Board members. They're looking like they're. I know it hasn't been officially endorsed, but it looks like they're supporting you, right?
Well, Susan Harrington actually has officially endorsed.
She has,
yes, on her Facebook page, she has officially endorsed.
And this is Junah Perkins live in the studio. And you are running for district attorney. Tell us why you're running for DA in Norfolk County.
So I'm a former prosecutor, and I've been a lawyer in Massachusetts for 33 years, and I've spent my entire career helping families all over Massachusetts get through the worst days of their lives. And when it came up, when I saw the district attorney put out that video in the summer of 2023, when he was vouching for the credibility of Trooper Proctor, wasn't really about Trooper Proctor because I didn't know about what we later found out about his text messages. But at the time, it was enough for me that he was making that kind of statement, which violates every ethical rule I was ever taught as a prosecutor. And I was a prosecutor for 10 years under Ralph Martin, the Suffolk District Attorney, who was then the Suffolk District Attorney, and also Scott Harshbarger, who was the Attorney General. So to me, that was incredibly shocking. And it also shocked many of my former colleagues and current people who are still in that business. But more importantly, even than that, and I think there were a ton of errors in the Karen Reed case, and I think that all the controversy around that case is because of errors made by the district attorney and choices made by the district attorney. But really, the thing that tipped me over the edge was the failure to investigate and prosecute the murder of Sandra Birchmore, because the focus of my career has been not only general prosecution, but also sexual assault and domestic violence. And that screamed murder. And any experienced prosecutor would have been able to call that as a murder. And it is the district attorney, not the medical examiner or the state police, who is ultimately in charge of death investigations. So the fact that the district attorney failed to recognize that just really sent me over the edge. And I could actually say a little bit more about that too. So what really has been bothering me lately is those emails that the district attorney was forced to put out a few weeks ago that was like 4,000 pages worth of emails. There were 2 about Sandra Birchmore. And the first one was immediately after the case was being publicized in the Globe. And it was a message to his press person about, asking, saying something like, we should talk about this. The next one does not come until right after the indictment of Matthew Farwell. And That one, he says to his, right-hand person or chief of staff or something, is this true? So exactly. So it's as if he did really nothing at all. Somebody just put that file in a drawer and shut it and put it away. And they never looked at it again. And that to me is completely unconscionable. So that's why I'm running.
It's unreal because there was a whole podcast series that was quite popular called The Case about Sandra Birchmore. And I can't believe with all that attention, and like you said, the Boston Globe, that he acts like it didn't happen. He didn't know anything about it.
Right.
I mean, that's more of an indictment. Like if you really want us to believe that, like you're not even paying attention, dude. But Obviously, I don't believe it. I think that he knew all about it, and it's kind of a cover up there, right?
Well, I don't know, but what I do know is that because the district attorney is the one, not only the one who's in charge of death investigations, but also in charge of making charging decisions, he relies now, he claims now, oh, this was a suicide. I still think it was a suicide because the ME said it was a suicide. Well, guess what? John O'Keefe, the medical examiner in the death of John O'Keefe, came to the conclusion, could not make a determination about whether or not it was homicide, suicide, or accident. But guess who decided to charge him with murder? So he clearly knows the difference and his authority to do that. If he didn't, that would be even more insane. But he clearly knows the difference.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up, the double standard. He trusts the medical examiner,
Correct.
Sandra Birchmore, even though the feds have arrested this guy and they're putting him up, for the most serious charges you can have on the federal level. And he's still claiming, oh, I'm with the medical examiner. But with the John O'Keefe situation, he totally ignored what the medical examiner said. So he's picking and choosing. He's not being...
Right. I mean, and then the other thing is that the medical examiner, if you've read her quotes in the Globe stories, she has said, I made this decision based on the information that I had. Now, to me, that's an allusion to the fact that the manner of death cannot be determined by the cause of death medically. Of course, that's totally the medical examiner's purview because lawyers aren't doctors. But the second piece, manner of death, that's a decision that's made, you can't make without information from the crime scene, from law enforcement, from the district attorney. So to me, that means they didn't give the medical examiner enough information to make a decision otherwise.
Wow. And he recently said that at a meeting that you were, like some Quincy Democratic meeting that you were at. You spoke, he spoke.
Right.
Have you heard any feedback or follow-up since then? Is he still sticking to the medical examiner?
I haven't heard otherwise. Yeah. And he, as far as I know, he hasn't responded to other reporters' questions about it.
Now, there are some other victims, from what I'm hearing, of this crew related to the Sandra Birchmore. One of them I text with a little bit. I'm hoping to talk to her a little more. It's concerning to me because I think there's a lot more than just one person that they're federally charged involved in this. There are some names that have come up. What would you do if you were DA about the Sandra Birchmore situation? Would you investigate it top to bottom? Would you look into maybe charging someone? Because nobody's ever been charged with anything in Norfolk County related to Sandra Birchmore.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would encourage anybody who was in the Police Explorers program, for example, and felt like they were being groomed during that period of time, or actually sexually abused, to come forward and report that. These are situations that cannot happen in our own community, and it is absolutely horrifying that it was. And I also question the extent to which it was already, whether Farwell's alleged relationship with Sandra Birchmore was something that was known by many others in the station.
It sure seems like it. Would you, one of the folks that allegedly was groomed, let's say that, in the Police Explorers program, would you be open to speaking to them and maybe learn more about it?
Sure. Yeah. I will say that I have many stories like that from community members wanting to talk about the wrongs that they have experienced at the hands of the district attorney. So
you hear their stories. You've heard quite a few stories.
Yeah. Yes.
What types of stories are you hearing out there?
Other cases that were overcharged, some cases that were undercharged or not charged at all. Some people who were just mistreated by the district attorney's office, treated unkindly, or weren't properly informed about the circumstances of the case or the rationale for making a decision. All of which victims have the right to.
Wow. And we're speaking of Junah Perkins. She's an attorney, former prosecutor, and she's running for district attorney, DA, in Norfolk County, former Suffolk County prosecutor, currently running for DA in Norfolk County. There's so much happening in Canton and Norfolk County, and specifically Michael Proctor, a bunch of text messages we're finding out exist that we didn't know, and it looks like it's going to affect a lot of other cases. How would you handle that as DA if you were elected and you have all of these issues with Michael Proctor and his texts and all the other affiliated police officers that might have been on the receiving end of these texts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is no question that it's a problem. I think you'd have to review every single case that had those kinds of texts and those kinds of interactions with Trooper Proctor. Cases like this do a tremendous amount of damage, not only to the results in cases, but also to the community's trust. And we cannot have that.
Lack of trust is a big thing.
It's huge because if people don't trust the system, they won't participate in it. If they don't participate in it as witnesses, reporting crimes, acting as jurors, then we are all unsafe. And so we really have to get it together and fix this.
Yeah, let's hope so. If people want to support your campaign, how can they find out more information about helping y'all? Sure.
So there's a website, JunahPerkins.com. There's also a Facebook page, Instagram page. Where this on Tuesday, there's some municipal elections in 5 towns: Braintree, Randolph, Milton, Quincy, and Franklin. And we'll be out there sign holding. Would love more volunteers even for sign holding. We're not on the ballot this year, not till next year. But yeah, that'd be great. I also have a little Halloween joke for you.
You have a Halloween? What is it? Oh,
okay, so it's Halloween. Okay, get it? So guess what I am for Halloween?
I'm
assault and battery. Get it? Assault and battery.
Assault and battery. Because you're an expert in those.
Yes.
How many assault and batteries do you think you've prosecuted over the years?
Oh, hundreds. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, and certainly overseen as a supervisor, overseen thousands. But yeah, this is a classic law school joke.
I love it. We get assault and battery here. Duracell.
I almost wore fangs and said, I'm going to take a bite at a crime, but I didn't do that.
Like McGruff the crime dog.
Exactly. Got to have a sense of humor.
Yes, you do. One of the big things that I hear from people watching the Norfolk County District Attorney's race, and citizens especially, is they don't know who to trust. They have a lot of distrust even for yourself and other candidates, and they're distrustful of the system. They're worried that the next DA will just be like Morrissey. It'll be more of the same. How do you kind of let people know where you stand on that?
All right. So number one, I've never run for anything before. I'm only running because I'm really mad. And because I really know this job. That's what I know this job, and I feel like I have an obligation to do something. When I see a problem, it's all of our obligations to fix the problems that we can in our community. That's my patriotic duty. That's why I'm doing it. I'm just a mom. I'm a working mom, and I'm not in this to be a stepping stone. This is the job I want and the job I think I can do.
Excellent. This is Junah Perkins. She's running for DA in Norfolk County to replace Michael Morrissey. She's a private practice attorney. She used to prosecute in Suffolk County. She's put a lot of bad guys in jail. We're going to have her back with another segment to discuss a little more about what's going on in Norfolk County. This is Mike Crawford. Fill it in. Welcome back. It's the Grace Curley Show. This is Mike Crawford. We are enjoying all the Halloween songs Taylor's been picking out today. We've got the poll question. Today's poll question is brought to you by Perfect Smiles. Don't be fooled by imposters with similar names. If you're unhappy with your smile, you need to visit Dr. Bruce Houghton in Nashua. Call 1-844-A-PERFECT-SMILE or visit perfectsmiles.com. Taylor, what is the poll question today?
Today's poll question, which you can vote in at gracecurleyshow.com, is be honest, do you keep the good Halloween candy for yourself?
Ooh, what do you think? Do you keep it for yourself, Junah Perkins?
I try not to, but sometimes.
I keep it all the good stuff for if any kids come by, they'll get some, but I'm definitely keeping a portion. Taylor, what are the results on the poll question?
62% say yes, they do screen the candy.
Very smart people. I love that. 62%. I don't know what, I guess these other 38%, I guess they like the kids more than themselves. I mean, the kids deserve the candy, but they got bags of it. I mean, us adults, we got to make sure we get some too. So Junah Perkins is here. She's running for DA in Norfolk County. And last time you were on, you talked about a Foyer request. You kind of broke some news with us that you had filed a Foyer request with Michael Morrissey's DA office on Norfolk County null process, where people weren't prosecuted, because you've been hearing from residents there that this might be an issue. There may be some pay to play with campaign donations, possibly. Did you get any response back on the FOIA request?
I did. And I'm going to appeal it because I think it was non-responsive. So they gave me 25 pages worth of docket numbers representing 2,800 court docket numbers of cases that they claim had been null-prossed in the past 15 years. So, however, they claimed that those numbers contained some district court cases, some superior court cases, but they don't. So there's that. They also claim that they couldn't give me certain information because it's not public record, and they relied on a case that talks about that. But they are not interpreting that case correctly. At the same time, because they did give, so I'm going to appeal, but at the same time, because they did give us some docket numbers, I'm having some people look them up and see exactly what happened. In a little spot check that I did, some of the cases don't appear to be null process at all. They just seem to be guilty pleas. So to me, it looks like they just gave me a whole mess of nothing. They know what I'm asking for. I don't think they want to give it.
What's the next process? You sue them, or you just appeal it to the state?
So there's a state supervisor of records, and so you write a appeal. You appeal to that person.
Excellent. It's Junah Perkins running for Norfolk County DA. Check her out, JunahPerkins.com is the website.